I really love setting my books in winter. People ask me this a lot. Why winter? And part of the reason is that winter has this incredible dual nature. On the one hand, we've got the sparkle and the lights of Christmas and all that lovely, jolly stuff that we enjoy so much. On the other, we've got darkness, we've got cold, we've got the end of the year and a general desire to kind of go inside, sit by the fire and snuggle up. It's a time when we think about others, we have to because of Christmas, we're buying presents, but we also think about ourselves and what we're going to be doing in the next year. And it's a time when we can give ourselves a little bit of a breather and get down with a really good book and lose ourselves. Part of the reason why I don't write books that are Christmassy, but they are set in the winter, is that I think a Christmas story, you have to deliver a certain amount of things in it. It has to have some Christmas motifs and it certainly has to have an incredibly happy ending. And I think that to sort of get away from that, make it a little bit more complex in terms of having some darker elements, maybe even slightly psychological, slightly thrillery elements, it was important to not tie it to the kind of Christmas happy ending and the sparkly lights. But I do like putting a Christmas scene into the book, so you can hardly help it when you're writing things that are set in the winter. But the Christmas scenes are often not always full of love and joy and goodwill to all men. I have a little tradition of reading to my children on Christmas Eve, and every year I say, do you want me to read that story again? Thinking that this year they will say, no, we don't. But they always do, and it's not just because the story is really charming. It's a children's story by Kate Surrady called The Good Master, and it's set in Hungary before the First World War, and it's full of innocence and charm, and it's about the visit of Father Christmas to the village, and the children help him give out all the presents to the very poorest children who've put their shoes out on the windowsill. But when they get to the very poorest family in the village, there are no presents left. So the two children beg Father Christmas, who is really their father, if they can give their presents to the very poorest children. And, oh dear, here I go. Every year I start crying at that bit. And so, in fact, the children love watching me have a little Christmas cry. Christmas isn't Christmas unless I get some books for Christmas, although it's got to the point where the house is so full that I'm thinking I'm going to have to start doing some reading and get some books out before I ask for any more. But this Christmas I do not think I'll be able to resist Lady in Waiting by Anne Glenconner, because I just love the sound of that crazy high society life with an absolutely insane husband from the sounds of it. And I'm really delighted for her that it's been such a hit, because she's clearly having an absolute ball. So I can't wait to read that. For a bit of light relief and escapist humour, I think I'm going to be looking forward to The Christmas Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella, because I'm a big fan of her books, and I think that sounds lots of fun. I also like to have a good murder mystery and also something really historical and meaty to get my teeth into. And so I think I would like to read, there's a non-fiction book called The Brothers York, about the last Plantagenet kings. The third brother wasn't a king, but the other two were, and that sounds right up my alley. And I think it's told like a quite gripping thriller of kind of villains and heroes, and I think that sounds good.